Hello and welcome to the Douglas Review. The Douglas Review is an online portal that features everything African, from entertainment to sports to politics and news. Today we are here in Nairobi, Kenya, set to figure out what the tune of music is changing to. They say necessity is the mother of invention. A lot has changed, a lot has been picked up. We are here with a special guest, a young man who is changing music, who is not going the normal way of what Africans believe in as music, using an instrument that is not considered an African instrument, an instrument that has required that he works harder than everyone else to prove himself and find a niche in the market. With us we have Scott the Violinist. Karibu.
Thank you so much. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for the interview, or rather inviting me here. Yeah.
It was good to have you. Thanks for responding to our interview request. We're glad to have you. Our fan base is mad with you, and everyone is asking, Scott the Violinist is doing this, Scott the What is actually your real name? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, basically my name is Scott Mwangi, and I use Scott the Violinist because I wasn't about the life where you want to be young thug, I play the violin, my name is Scott, so that's combined to Scott the Violinist. Simple. Let's move on from there.
Okay. What's your kind of music?
I'm all-rounded. I come from a family where everyone's a musician. My dad was a musician. My brother he's a DJ. So with that, like, I listen to various kind of music, whether it's local music, hip-hop, traditional African stuff, Indian music, anything that sounds good to me, I'm interested in it.
True. Yeah. You've mentioned something very critical, your family. Has there been pressure to become your brother's shadow, or have you been pressured by society or friends around you to become something close or something bigger than your brother? You're being told, go into music, go into...
Not really. My father gave me that open platform where you can do whatever you want to do. Just be good at it, you know? And that kind of encouragement, I used to be into piloting. I always wanted to be a pilot when I grew up, you know? I always wanted to be a doctor. But as we all know how life works, you know, it's very unpredictable. Yeah. So the opportunity that came my way was in terms of music, and the music that I played came with such good reception. So of course, with that, my father just kept encouraging me. You just do what you have. If it works, keep doing it.
True. Yeah. You've mentioned something very important. Your father kept on pushing you. The African parent is known for not something, they know what the basics. Go to school, get an education, get a job. You probably did not follow the path of going to school and getting an 8 to 4, a white-collar 8 to 4 o'clock job. Did you face any resistance with your dad, seeing he's a professor especially? So I'm sure a professor would be like, you have to go to school, you have to do this. Did you face any resistance? Did you face any challenges?
In terms of employment and that, I wouldn't say that he gave me any pressure, because my violin profession started when I was still in school, you know. And by the time I'm done with school, I was already a busy guy. I'm already doing gigs here and there. So for me to change that into a white-collar job really didn't make sense. Yeah. And then, thank God, my father also had that influence of music in his life. So he understood how it works. There are more opportunities, there are more networking opportunities when you're in the music industry as compared to being in an office and closed to only meeting 8 to 10 people in maybe a lifetime, you know. Yeah. As compared to being out there and meeting tons of people. I meet you today, I meet the cameraman tomorrow, you know. So I have a wider network within my circle as compared to, So give me the encouragement to just, by the way, I think you're okay with what you're doing, just keep going.
You said you started in school. What part of school did you start, and how did you start?
I was in third form. I was in upper hill school.
The school of the celebrities.
There you go. Thank you very much. I wasn't in the music club per se, but I got an opportunity, or rather I was presented the opportunity that, Scott, this year our team is going for the music festival, so going to be part of us come through. So I joined the choir, but I wasn't into singing. So the only thing I could do at the moment was play the violin. So I took that step of playing the violin for the choir, I mean, I would sing as a background vocalist to call backbench, you know. But then again, I mean, with that opportunity where I'm with these guys and then I'm the violinist over there, so it kind of gelled with the two, with the singing group, with the violin, playing in church, in school, and also in high school. I mean, past school, now my local church, and that I grew that up.
Okay. You've raised something quite important that, you know, most people think to become a hit, you just wake up and become a hit. You've mentioned a track record. You started in school, you played for the choir, then went from the choir to church. So it's been a process.
It's been a process, yeah.
What's the journey been like for you? Have people been receptive? You know, the violin is not something Africans are used to playing every other time. People in Africa, we know the guitar, the kayamba, the piano. That's what we know. And the drums. The drums is actually the African beat.
Exactly.
In fact, Afrobeat is you, drum and everything. So now you're playing the violin. That's something not everyone. In fact, it doesn't appear in many songs. But most recently, we've seen you feature in very many new songs that are coming up, and you're playing the violin. What's the reception been like, and are people taking you positively?
Surprisingly, yes. I mean, why? Because it's a very new product, and then again, you having built that experience that I have since the days I was in high school and studying the trends out there. Like, I'm playing in church, yes, but I can see guys are responding to this kind of music when I'm playing. So I use that as, as a guide to whatever I go to the next step. Blah blah blah. So if I'm dealing with this kind of crowd, what should I be playing for them to actually, So you have to study the market, not only the market, but also now the trend out there of what people like. And having identified myself with them and with different social classes here and there, I knew exactly how to come in. And as a result, I get the positive reception,
Yeah.
And then again, I mean, there are points where I've had that negative reception, but I knew immediately how to combat it. Yeah.
So people have actually been buying in your music. Corporates are the biggest payees in terms of music. They pay the best in terms of music career. When you go to a corporate seeking to do something for their end of year party, for their dinners and something, as a young person and as something that's not so common in Kenya, do you think they take you positively, or do they sometimes ridicule you? And how, if you have at all been ridiculed, how did you handle the ridicule?
Okay, for starters, I look at life in a positive way. When it comes with the challenges and all, I look at the brighter side of it. So at first, you being a corporate, having had the time to call me, shows that I'm doing something about myself.
Yeah.
See? So I'm already an ounce stronger than I was before.
True.
So by the time I'm showing up to the event, I mean, it's all about presentation and your confidence in whatever you do. Otherwise, you'll be ridiculed. So you don't put yourself in that place where you're going to be ridiculed or just made fun of. So it's you to own your brand, own your position, and own your product. For them to see that you're actually, for them to actually believe that you're working with someone who can identify themselves with. You see?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm a musician. Yes, you sell oil or whatever it is. But the value of my product and yours are almost, they correlate in a way.
Do I see look at like an oil broker?
Well, that's a good product, At least I did say, yeah.
Okay. In Kenya, especially, people believe that you have to know somebody to get somewhere. The president of this country always says that his father was a president of Kenya, but that did not get him any advantage anywhere. He says he was bullied like everyone else. The challenges he faced are basically what everyone else faced. Your brother is a DJ. He has a big name, DJ Proti. He's a big deal in Kenya. He's made a name for himself. Do you think you used his name to get where you are? Did you create your own path?
I mean, let's face the facts. He is who he is, yeah? And in life, if you have an open opportunity there, take advantage before someone else does, He had his following. Of course, his influence also helped me out. But I realized at that point that every time I go under his shadow, I'm referred to as Protege's brother.
Yeah.
But here I am, not being a DJ, I'm being someone very different, So every time I show up for an event, I make myself very distinct. Like, listen, yeah, if you're approaching me as the violinist. I come as a separate package with different music.
Yeah.
Get a DJ to play your club music, but me, I play a sophisticated kind of instrument. So be sure that you cannot marry the two, because whatever he does isn't the same thing as I do. So in such a way, I built my own client base and fan base, but at the same time, using his influence to also, map myself also with his fan base, so that whatever I've gathered here and what he has, marry the two, we come up with a new product.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
So do we expect to hear something, a collaboration between you and your brother to bring out some good music?
Yeah, very soon. Actually, we're just now finishing up the another product itself.
Oh, nice. So there should be a mashup with the DJ and you with the violin very soon. Nice. It's good to hear about that. Currently in Kenya, we're passing a social media law because of cyberbullying and everything.
Yeah.
People are being bullied every time, especially celebrities. People are being picked on. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's seeing this person. Yeah. Have you been affected by cyberbullying in any way whatsoever?
I think we all have. As in life, not everyone is happy with your progress.
Give us examples of how you've been bullied, by the way.
I've been called skinny, which I am. I've been accepted it,
Uh-huh.
I've been called, I stammer, so I get so many. I move along, I just laugh it off and just, but then again, I'm very grateful to the people who know me personally, because I'm as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
I'm not complicated, I'm just Scott, that guy who just plays the violin, and I'm always smiling maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't really complicate life, so the people who know me better always encourage me not to pay attention to what's out there.
Yeah.
So that gives me strength as well, and also having been brought up in such a I've been brought up in a strict family, so of course I have some manners,
Yeah.
and respect here and there. So I won't just let my life go really.
Yeah.